Hello. In the first video that we looked at, we saw some examples of a project that the 7th grade science students had worked on collaboratively to find lots of information and build a rather large website. The template with the directions was given to them, and we saw that there was a lot of uniformity from one site to the next, but yet freedom for the students to create a little bit and add information that they found on their own. So not all the sites were exactly the same, but there was uniformity because they were finding information that I told them I wanted them to find. And I did that through the building of the template. Now, the whole reason that we have this video here is because I'm showing you how, as a teacher, you can build the template to push out to groups of students, and that way they're not just randomly making sites, they're building sites with the scaffold or the backbone that you provide them. So I thought in this example I'd show you something, same idea, but this is something different: social studies, the American Revolution. Okay, so this is what it would look like when the student receives it. Okay, this is the web view, the preview view, if you will. But when we look at the actual editing page, this is more what it would look like. So what I created was a template that students would work on, and it has the home page, which is what we're looking at here. And then I have two sub pages. I could add a whole lot more. So this first sub page were battles of the Revolution in the year 1775, and then within that sub page I have the different battles of 1775. So you're going to notice each one of these I put the same information. As a social studies teacher, you might be looking for other information. I just kind of did something off the top of my head just to give you an example. So all of these pages here would be the same. Include a colonial map indicating where the battle was fought, who were the key figures and generals, who won the battle, what was the result of the battle, how many casualties occurred. Okay, be sure to include images to make the site more appealing. So all of these are going to say the same thing. The only difference is going to be the heading. So students could change this heading on their own. They could change this background image on their own. It's just there for an example. Okay? I would tell my students that they had to change the background. They couldn't use mine. Okay, and then the second subpage, what we're going to see here are the battles from 1776. Okay, overview why these battles were important, and then we'd go into each one. Okay, and again, the information that I'm looking for here is repetitive. Doesn't have to be, but just it can be for the sake of this project. Those are the key ideas that I want the kids to focus on for each one of these battles. So it would actually be a rather easy site for me to give the template to students. Okay, so what I want to do is now show you how I actually created that. So I'm going to go into a new tab, and I'm going to go into my sites. So I'll just type sites.google, and it will go into my sites since I'm logged in, and you can do that if you're logged in. You just start typing sites.google, and it will take you into your sites page. Okay, and I'll click here. That was the little icon up here, and this shows me all my sites here. And what I want to do is create a new site. It's this little plus sign down here. Okay, and again, I'm creating that template for students, and I will eventually in the next video show you how we're going to save this to our drive and push it out to students. So first thing I'm going to do is change this header. So I'm just going to change the image, and I'm going to do that by selecting an image. And this is really nice. It goes right into these options here, so I can click search, and this is just like doing a Google image search. So I can do Revolutionary War flag. We'll see what we get. We get a whole bunch of different options, and I'll choose a different one. I'll use this one. Click select. Okay, and you can see it adjusts for readability. I'm going to edit my page here, and I'm going to call it Battles of the Revolutionary War. Oops. There we go. Make this box a little bigger. There we go. Okay, and then down here, this is where I'm going to add text. This is super simple. This is going to be a really easy part. There's two ways to add text. If you've never used Google Sites before, you can just double click and you get this wheel option that comes up, and you can see what's here. But I want to add text, so I'm going to click here. And this is where I'll put in my instructions for what I want the students to do. Okay, and if I look back at what I had said previously, I'm just going to take this, explain what the American Revolution was about, include the following: key causes, key figures, images, maps, and I'm going to put that in here. Okay, and maps. And then this is one section of text. If I click here, it's going to give me another option for text. Let me show you a second way to do that. Up here, I'm under the insert. You can see we have three options here, but under insert, I want to insert text, and I get the same option there. Okay, so down here, I'm going to tell the students that they need to give an explanation of what the site will tell the reader. Basically an explanation of why should I read on, why should I continue on to your website, what am I going to find here. Okay, let's say I typed this section in and I didn't like it. Just so you know, you can just click this delete button and that gets rid of it. Okay, I did that section, but if you wanted it back, you would just add the text and retype it. I'm not going to do that for the sake of time. Now here's where the tricky part gets. So that was the home page. That would be the first page that somebody would see when they actually navigate to your website. And students would fill in this information. They'd put everything there. They'd get rid of the directions, so you'd have to tell them to erase the directions, not to keep them there. So hopefully they'd be filling that in with nice paragraphs and everything that you asked for. But you're going to give them more than just this home page. So what we're going to do is under Pages, you can see I clicked on Pages. Before we were here on Insert, now we're on Pages. There's this nice plus sign here, and it says New Page. So I'll click New Page, and I'm going to label this, or title it, excuse me. So I'm going to say Battles of, I think I said 1775 in the example. Okay, and now here under the heading of Battles of 1775, I can tell the students what I want them to do. So explain oops, excuse me. Okay, so let's just say, oops, there we go. Okay, and I would add more detail to that, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And now what I want to do, and pay close attention to this, I'm going to click here, and then click here. Okay, and this is an untitled page, but I'm going to drag it up and put it into there. And you see how that just changed? This arrow came. So now this page is actually within this page. Okay, so think of a page within a chapter. The home page would be the cover of the book. This page right here would be a chapter, and this would be a page within the chapter. Okay, and in my example that I showed you, this is the actual battle name. So I'm just going to copy what I had here. So forgive me for copying, but it was Lexington and Concord. So I'm going to copy that. Okay, so it's untitled. I want to give it a title, Lexington and Concord. Okay, paste that there as well. Okay, and what information do I want students to have here? Well, I'm just going to grab it from here for the sake of time. Copy that. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, and I don't know if you saw that. Let me see if I can. Yes, okay, so when I'm navigating or hovering over here, it's hard to see, but there's these dots. Okay, there we are. There's 3 dots. When I click on those 3 dots, okay, I can add a subpage, make a home page, whatever. I want to add a subpage. Okay, actually, no, I don't. I'm sorry. I did not want to do that. So let me show you how to delete a page. Delete. Okay, so I'm under here remember, it's a page within a chapter. The chapter is Battle of 1775. So I'm just going to click New Page, and this one is going to be Fort Ticonderoga. So we're going to copy that. Paste that here. Come here. Paste that here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, because I'm kind of asking for the same information for every battle, I can just again copy this. Remember, double text to get that wheel to come up, paste that in. Okay, so there's the two battles that I'm asking for of the year 1775. Okay, so I'm going to put those pages in the chapter. Okay, and when I come here, I want a new one, so I'm going to call this Battles of 1776. Okay, and I want to drag this out. Actually, maybe I can do this. Oh, yes, I am sorry. I actually want to come up to here and click Add Subpage. Oh. Oh, I apologize. Let me get this straight. I'm going to come back to my home page, which moved out of the place, and I'm going to add subpage here. There we go. And this is going to be Battles of 1776. Okay, and let me just move this back up and see when I grab this, there's that blue line. That blue line is now at the very top, and that's where it's going to go. So I have everything back kind of where I want it. So I'm going to grab 1776 and put it at the bottom. So now what I have is cover of the book, chapter 1, chapter 2. Chapter 1 has these two pages, the two different battles that I'm included so far, and then chapter 2, Battles of 1776. Now I need to add some text here, so I'll look back to what I added for this page. Come on. Here we go. And obviously, if this was a real project, you'd have more information for the kids. But it's not a real project. It's just an example. So I'm going to copy that. Come here. Double click. Paste. Okay. And then I want to add the subpages to this. So I'll click here, New Page, and to see what those were. Battle of Long Island. Okay, that's going to be my first one. Okay, and that didn't actually go into the subpage, but I can just drag it into there, and now it's under here. You can see how it's indented. Okay, let me show you how to do another one. So we'll just call this the Battle of Trenton. Sorry. Come on. There we go. Okay, and I wanted it to be a subpage within this, so it does take a little patience. You might have to move stuff around, and there it is. Okay, so again, chapter, and then pages within the chapter. Okay, and I want to show you again, since I kind of muffed up adding this, if I want to add a new, let's say, battles of these years, the next one will be 1777. So I made a mistake last time, so what I'm going to do is come up to this home, and I want it to be a subpage of home. So these dots here, I'm going to add subpage, and it's Battles of 1777. Now, I have to pay attention because things got out of order, but to fix it, I'm just going to grab it and drag it down, and where that blue line is where it will go, but I want it here so that they're in order. And then if I wanted to add subpages to this, this is where I would click. And then I would add the names of the battles of 1777. Okay, I'm sorry if there's any confusion there, but we will come back to this, and I'll show you how to actually push these out to the students in the next video. Thank you.